Who's your ultimate queen? The ultimate queen. It is me. Don't forget to comment, like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. My Sissy darling.
I was working on my desktop at the time, on an assignment, and hoped he wouldn't knock on mine. But, of course he did.
Very interesting encounter.
This guy had black hair, dark eyes, and a long leather jacket. He had a blank stare, and some shady-looking eyes, but he held out his arm and showed me something. He had some ecstasy. He asked me if I wanted to buy it, and of course I said no. At the time, weed was the only drug I would have ever tried, and even that made me feel really sleepy. I shut the door in the guy's face. I had the strangest feeling he was angry at me. His stare alone was just cold and clinical, as if he could have killed me there and then, and walked away, feeling nothing. Together, which was odd. Environmental health officers and veterinarians said it was the pollution in the air, but I thought this creature had a part to play in it. What a mutated giant lizard. But I don't know. It's hard for me to describe because I've never seen such a weird looking creature. It was there one moment, and then after I ran away, it was gone. I almost wonder if it was planning on sneaking up on me and devouring me whole, because it was right in a spot that had I not turned to look at it, Aunt later on that year had a heart attack like I said, but it was just going through so much stress of losing a lot of her livestock, disappearing somehow, and they couldn't find them anywhere. No traces of their body. So again, I don't really know how to summarize it all. Crazy, and this did happen to me. I know what I saw, and it was real. And that we could pick up the car in town later that day. We checked into the hotel and went back to the McDonald's and had breakfast. Was that the GPS attached to our car used satellites instead of cell towers, so it was still operating just fine. The bad news was that it used the car as its power source, so it would be rendered useless if we took it out.
Hi everyone.
My fiancé then had an idea.
I'm listening to Paranormal Encounters as usual.
And opened the notes
Might add music later to the video.
directions to the nearest
I'll only get copyright strikes and stuff even if it's supposed to be non-copyright music, you know.
We could hopefully find a place to stay and have enough service to call the rental company.
And I also want to say that even if you appreciate my videos, and I appreciate that you appreciate my videos, of course, like you mentioned earlier, I'm not a sissy crossdresser. Even though I like to crossdress, I'm not a fetish, so I'm not a fetishist, so I don't take demands, you know, like dress in certain ways. Sissy is a submissive person, I'm not a submissive person. So you can of course appreciate my beauty, but I don't take demands or requests. If you want to make requests, you can do that on my OnlyFans, and then you have to pay, of course, a small amount just to subscribe. So that's more like a service, but I don't take requests from people. Just want to clarify that.
It was late, but considering I was with my fiancé, a night jogger, although I couldn't understand why he chose to run across the land instead of by the street. Then he turned around, and a new angle allowed me to see something trailing behind him. I squinted my eyes trying to make out what it was. It wasn't until then that I noticed how bizarre his face shape was. It was much more rectangular than I'd ever seen on a person. I had to ask my fiancé, "What is that?" from beside me. I told him I didn't know. I never had the chance to before. Overall, things went pretty smooth. That is, until we hit New Mexico.
Subscribe, please.